All right, we're here in the Smith Garage. Welcome, all of you. We're gonna do a quick job of painting. I'm probably gonna speed through some of this, but just a few things. We're gonna paint this top. I've done a lot of prepping already. And if you've already subscribed, thank you. And if you haven't, and you'd like to know more about what we're doing with Jack right here, Jill's outside. These are air-cooled Vanagons, so they're 80. This is 81. It's 82 out there. Talked about earlier. We're gonna put Duralux marine coating haze gray. I want to do gray. Jack's gonna end up being a green, but kind of more of a dull green. All I got is my paint, a roller, paintbrush to get in some of the corners, and a handy dandy paint tray. And we're just gonna get started. We already shook this up a little bit. I'm gonna paint. I think a quart will cover both of these. Might end up doing that front one first. Then we'll do the sides because that's what's going to be seen the most, and then we'll start on the top. Actually, I'm going to do inside from the inside out because did that when I put some primer on these earlier. Did a couple of fiberglass repairs with just a simple little fiberglass kit. Had a break right here, so we fixed that. Had a kind of a chunk out of those two, almost like it hit a branch or something as it was driving through. Other than that, it's a pretty good top. It's got a little bit of wear on it. You can kind of see the fiberglass coming through in a couple spots. I'm actually going to go open this over here. I ordered this in the mail off of Lowe's because I wanted to see what this gray would look like. I'm trying to do this kind of two different matte colors, and so we'll see how it turns out. But I'm hoping it's going to look really good. All right, here we go. Let's see. I am going to do the inside out, so hopefully we're going to have enough paint with the quart. If we don't, you know, I can get another quart from Lowe's. I'm just going to put this right on there. See how this looks. I'm liking the color, but I'm not liking how it's going on. That might just be because it could be because of the roller I have, you know, it's kind of a nappy one and stuff's coming off, and that doesn't make me very happy. But I'm thinking that this is going to be a 2-coat job, and I don't know if I'm going to have enough paint for 2 coats. So I'm going to put on what I got. We'll come back and do some sanding. I thought maybe I could do this with just 1 coat, but I think because of the nappiness, we're going to do 2 coats. Yep. Okay, first coat is on there. A little bit of fuzz here and there, but for the most part, at least it's on there. I think I like the color. I know you probably can't see from there, but it's supposed to match that wheel color, and I think it looks pretty good. Right now I have bugs flying around. Happens to be that time of the evening. Got a couple of thick spots over here with runs. Roll those so that I don't want to see runs even after I get some good sanding on. Hopefully they don't stay in there. I know you can't see them from over there, but that's definitely, it's interesting. It's a interesting paint that runs like that. I don't feel like I was putting it on really thick. But apparently it felt thick to the paint. Looks okay over here. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some sanding on it. Well, that's my first coat. I don't know when I'll get back to another coat. I'm gonna have to probably put this up somewhere, and normally it leans against the cabinets there. So we'll see if that's where I'm gonna keep it. Let's do a little bit of, I gotta get some paint for that. Okay, so we're gonna jump right back into this. I think I mentioned to you in one of the videos, which I don't know, what you've seen, but working on the top for the for Jack, which is my 81 Westie. I started out with this Duralux Haze Gray marine coating, and I absolutely loved the finish. But I bought that can of paint. It was delivered to my house in December, and thanks to a new law in California, I can't get that paint anymore. So anyway, so I decided to try this Rust-Oleum protective enamel. We're gonna see how it lays down. I kind of sanded down the Haze Gray, cleaned it off with air, and I went back over it with kind of a damp cloth. Try to get away as much as the dust as possible, then went back over it with high pressure air. And so here we go. We're gonna see if this paint is as good as the Duralux. Looks nice, it's a decent color. It's very similar gray, so that's good. This was only $15, that was $25. That's where, it kind of gets tricky as to whether or not it's going to be as good of paint. So I think what I'm going to do is try and do kind of the middle of this. The other thing that happened with the first batch of paint is that I used a roller with a fuzzy, kind of a nappy roller, and guess what? All that nap came right off into my paint job, and so I ended up having a very fuzzy paint job. Although the finish was still really nice, it was fuzzy. So we got ones for cabinet doors of foam, hoping that this does not create fuzz. So I'm going to start on this, probably going to pause it or speed it up or something. We're going to, so that you don't have to watch me paint, but we're going to hopefully see this lay down a little bit better with this. So far so good. It actually, let's see how this does. Hopefully these air bubbles will pop right back out, so I won't have air bubbles in my paint. I think that's the biggest thing I worry about with the foam, is the air bubbles. But if it's good enamel, then those air bubbles should pop, and it should look like it's just floating. Let's see how that does. The other thing I got was a foam brush, hoping that, let me grab that. Same thing, I didn't want any hair in there, so got this brush to hopefully give it a good finish. Okay, those bubbles are not coming out. That is not what I wanted. Not want air bubbles in my paint. Let's hope that it eventually comes out a little bit. Got all new hardware for this top. Stainless steel at my local Ace Hardware because I tend to get it there a little bit cheaper than if I were ordering it online. So I like to do things local as much as I can. Support my local businesses. Where I live, Northern California, we have Wolfgang International, which you may have heard of, and also Burley Motorsports is up here in Northern California. So if you're a Vanagon person, you probably have heard of Burley Motorsports. Burley's a real nice guy. He does quality parts. You may find that the price of those parts might be a little bit more, but really quality parts. So, what I don't like about this is the air bubbles. It's like there's little bubbles. I do not want bubbles. It's not covering the white either where I sanded off. Sanded a little bit too much. I'm gonna see. Maybe it will eventually, maybe the bubbles will eventually come out of there. And maybe a second coat will cover it just fine. Okay, I'm about halfway done with the big part of the top. I think I like it. It's I like the color better. One thing that I'm noticing, and this could be just what I'm using, this foam roller, is that I am getting air bubbles. I don't know. I don't know if I just get the air bubbles and then later on I sand them out, like wet sand them out, because I certainly don't want, I mean, if that's the only thing I have, I mean, I think I can just sand them out, but man, it would be really nice if they just laid down without the air bubbles. I don't know if it's a second coat. Of course, it's the evening. I've got bugs starting to form. Never come out. Seems like when I go over it a second time, the bubbles come out, which is great. But I just don't like the bubbles. I like the color. I think the color is actually a better match for my wheels than the Duralux. I like the color. It looks like it's laying down fairly nicely, but there's bubbles, and I think that that's from the roller. It's a foam roller. I know I'm going to have to do a second coat because there's a couple spots where I sanded through the initial gray into the white that I had laid down there. I don't know if you have any thoughts about the bubbles. Let me know. I don't really want to do brush the whole thing. It's, you know, it's nice that I'm doing a roller. I don't know if there's, I mean, the last nappy roller I used was considered nap free, but nap got all in the paint. So this at least doesn't have any fuzzies in the paint. So let's hope most of the bubbles pop. Hey there. Just trying to finish up this, the last of this top video. So we're up on top of Jack right now. This is the finished product. It's been sitting up here for about 2 weeks. You know, all through the video, I kind of talked about the finish and how it finished and if I like it or not. I like it. You know, when I was rolling it on, it had those little bubbles, and I don't know if that's just the way the paint is, and if I should have had some kind of maybe like a thinner to put in that enamel, but there is little specks. Not too terribly worried about it, because I do plan on probably putting some roof racks on here, you know, with some other stuff, and so it's pretty solid, which is nice. I like the color. It didn't run, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And just wanted to kind of finish that up. So I do want to thank you for visiting the channel and watching this video. So if you like it and you like this kind of stuff, just basically going through and making things better on vehicles, and feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and we appreciate your support. Figure I'd come up here from the other side too and just show you. It is really nice. I'm really happy with this. Again, this was the, I think, $15 a quart paint from Lowe's. It's Rust-Oleum enamel, and so I am happy with it. I was, you know, I really liked the way that the other one went on, but I had a different roller that I didn't like, and anyway, but pretty satisfied. So I do have all new hardware. I ended up getting from Ace Hardware, just stainless steel hardware for the whole thing. So once we get to the point where we've painted Jack, then we'll put the roof on properly with the new tent. I've got a tent that's gray that probably matches this pretty closely, and we'll work on doing some stuff to the front. I think I'm going to try and put a solar panel in the front that is able to move up an angle each way, and that'll probably be what's in there. So once again, thanks for watching Mr. Smith's Garage. Appreciate your support. Subscribe. Thanks.